Thank you again for tuning in to another great episode of Beneath the Surface with Purposeful Porsha. Again, we have back with us again therapist Katrina Dennis. This week, we're speaking about the spirit, having your spirit heal through a traumatic relationship or relationship with a narcissist. Katrina Dennis is a board-certified Christian counselor, a life coach, and a certified peer counselor, motivational speaker, and a business consultant with documented years of leadership. She's also the pastor of Ministry Out of Bounds, owner of Grace to Chat Counseling, and coaching Kay's Way Business Consulting. I am so happy that we're ending this series of relationships with a narcissist as well as in a traumatic relationship with the topic of spirit. She'll be able to give you great information. She blessed my soul through this entire process dealing with this episode of spirit. And I know that she will bless you too. Stay tuned for another great episode. So thank you so much for coming back for the second part of soul and spirit. So today we're focusing on the spirit with a traumatic or narcissistic relationship and how to heal and just making sure that you feel centered with your spirit man. So this is extremely important to me. So I appreciate you for being back on the sofa one more time again.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your sofa. It's an honor.
You actually, sidebar, have gotten a lot of great responses, feedback for the episode with the soul. Mm-hmm. And I know that this is a comfortable space for us.
Yeah.
Speaking about soul and spirit, so I'm so glad that our listening and viewing audience was able to pick up amazing jewels to help feed them. So again, thank you so much. Not just for me, but for the audience. They want to say thank you, but so I'm going to start off with a few questions, but I have one important question. What is the difference between the human spirit itself and the spirit's relationship with a higher power or divine being?
The human spirit itself is the seat of our consciousness. It is the pieces of our mind that come together to make this beautiful thing that helps us to experience the world. Mm-hmm. It shapes us. Our human spirit helps us to feel our emotions. It's what we kind of feel them through, mm-hmm. right? It's what we use to filter them. That's the mm-hmm. word I was looking for, to filter them through. So our human spirit, it is that piece that is able to connect with other beings, mm-hmm. right? And when we talk about the connection to God and our higher power, when we do that, that is what allows us to have spiritual experiences, right? That divine experience. It allows us to communicate with God. It allows us to be in a place where we can hear, feel, operate in physical and spiritual giftings. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. It is those two things connected, the sense of ourself and our being, that oneness with the sense of God that takes it higher. Mm-hmm. I have a saying that we're supposed to do everything we can naturally, right? Mm-hmm. And if we look at that spiritually, we do everything we can spiritually, everything we can naturally in that space to get where we want to go. Mm-hmm. And when God comes, he puts his super on it.
Oh, wow.
And mm-hmm. it becomes a supernatural experience. Mm-hmm. That's what that divine connection looks like. Mm-hmm. It looks like that supernatural experience.
I think about people are now understanding frequencies. Mm-hmm. High frequency, low frequency. Mm-hmm. And it's a higher frequency that gives you that third eye or that Absolutely. Access to the portal to gain more of a stronger connection to your spiritual relationship. Is that correct?
Absolutely, yeah. Mm-hmm. So there's, I don't know if you know about esophageal frequencies.
No, share.
So they are frequency patterns that help our body to heal on certain levels, and they help our body to and our spirit to connect with God on certain levels. And it just opens up spaces in us that allow our spirit to move more freely outside of the physical sense. So that's the same thing as connecting with God, or similar to connecting with God, because God can open us up in ways that we didn't imagine.
Yeah, like in your dreams and stuff.
Yes. Yeah. This is where dreams, visions, prophecy, all of those things exist. Healing, miracles, they exist in that spirit space.
When I'm on a higher frequency and I'm more in commune with God, reading, praying, meditating, studying the Word, or listening to spiritual music or praise and worship, right? That allows me to attune myself in that third realm where I'm able to, where my gifts are opened up a little bit more, where I can see things in spirit realm, where I've been blessed at that moment to speak in the spiritual tongue, translate. God has blessed me with the gift of translation, the spirit of wisdom, and that allows me to connect with like spirits, where they can, because not everyone you speak to can receive what you're saying.
Very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
So I'm not sure people, I think that's why it was very important for me to ask the question, not only just for the people watching this podcast, but listening, the difference between your soul and your spirit. Because I think people intertwine it and they don't understand that the spirit is where it's cased in. And the soul is the personality of it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not a therapist. I'm not,
You're good.
But based off of what I've learned, my teaching and who I'm under, of course you comprehend through experience as well, but I just wanted to make sure that I was on the right track.
Yeah, absolutely. You're absolutely on the right track.
So now that we have that breakdown, let's talk about the spirit healing from a narcissistic and traumatic relationship. So after experiencing a narcissistic or traumatic relationship, how can someone begin to reconnect with their inner spirit and a sense of divine purpose?
When we look at reconnecting with ourselves, we have to first disconnect from that toxic relationship, right? That abusive place. We have to disconnect from that. And once we're disconnected from that, we often feel like we're wobbly, like we're lost. And we need to reconnect ourselves with finding who we are and figuring out the pieces that were implanted by the abuse. So we can pluck those out and begin to figure out what we need to add back in or grow more, right?
Yeah.
So we need to sit still to connect with our own spirit, listen to ourselves, figure out, hey, what decisions did I make that hurt myself, as well as what decisions did they make to hurt, right? And then also getting into our word, getting into prayer, getting into fasting and meditating, and into communities of health. Find our support people, our therapists, our counselors, our pastors, you know, our people who we can lean on in our times of need, that will help us and give us safety to come back. As we look at healing from those spaces, it's so important to take time. You didn't get into that relationship in one day or 1 week.
Yeah, for sure.
They did not do the things that you caught and found done to you.
Right.
In a short period of time. So you have to give yourself that same span of time to get together. It is said that for every 1 year of abuse, you need at least 2 months of healing.
Wow.
Right? And that's not even abuse. That's just a regular relationship. That's just a regular relationship with no abuse. You need a year of healing for a year. I mean, 2 months of healing for a year. So when you think about that in the span of abuse, how much more time do you need?
For sure.
Because now you're healing from multiple things. You're healing from the way you treated yourself, the way they treated you, and all of the happenings that happened. So, yeah.
Yeah, I also realized that in that space of healing, my purpose is always highlighted. Like, because I find myself going right back to the mission, to the assignment that God originally wanted me to be at in the first place, right? And I think that, not that you necessarily need a breakup, but we have to remember, even when in a good time, to find that solitude just to reconnect and commune with God and your spirit, because you're entangled with another spirit and another soul. And so for the narcissist that is beating the person down mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, I can see how you said it takes these months or years. Like I said, from my traumatic relationship, that last one, it took me 5 years just to be able to say, I think I know myself now. I think my spirit is okay right now. I think my soul has mended.
Right.
You know?
Yep.
So yeah, that's good. I never heard that. 2 months for 1 year.
For 1 year, yes.
Okay, that's good
And
to know.
That's from a healthy relationship. That's from a relationship that just ended, right? Healthily. So imagine when we're talking about abuse, right?
Yeah, my healthy relationship that ended, I think I questioned if the other person was sensitive to their spirit man. Because if you're not, do you have a conscience? Do you, like, are you able just to cut things off, close things off? If you're not aware or awake spiritually?
So you said a little while ago that when you're in prayer and meditating and in the Word, that you understand you get to that third dimension. That also means there was a first and a second dimension before you got there, right? And some people sit in that first dimension all of their lives.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And some people get to that second, some people get to the third. But there are many dimensions, right? The Bible talks about the 7 dimensions of heaven and the 7 dimensions of hell, right? So there are multiple dimensions. I don't even know that it ends at 7. It may go much further than that. But there are many dimensions that we can reach in all of the different areas of our lives. In healing, in spirituality, we go higher, right? The thing is, as we go higher, we wonder why others don't want to. The truth is it's more work when we go higher.
And it's also a little scary.
It is.
It's scary.
It requires more. It also is that God is more quiet the higher you go.
Wow.
And it sometimes feels like I'm not in the right place. I'm not doing the right things. I'm not doing what I'm supposed to. Even though we're fasting, even though we're praying, even though we're meditating, we're in our Word, we still feel like God has abandoned us because we don't hear His voice the way we once did. However, when you're dealing with a toddler, you talk to him a lot more.
Wow.
When you're dealing with a young child, you talk to him a lot more. Once your child becomes a teenager, you talk to them a little bit less. They know the rules now. They understand the system. And when you get to an adulthood, you don't talk to your parents as much as you used to. Right?
Wow.
And as you mature, that communication doesn't need to be as often because you don't need as much reinforcement to keep moving.
Because you have the tools already inside of you.
And now you're teaching other people.
Wow.
This is what the Spirit requires. On the first dimension, we are toddlers. And we need a lot of hand-holding from God.
That was a word.
And on the second dimension, we're young children. And then we get to the third dimension and we're young adults.
Yeah.
And it feels like God is further away from us.
It does.
But God is actually instilling in you more trust.
Wow.
Because by the time you get to the third dimension, your faith should also be larger. Your habits should be better. Your discipline should be greater. So He can trust you with more time and more autonomy. Right? To give you that space that with your spirit, I know you. That's the connection place, right? God knows you because you've been in your spirit place. You've used your human spirit to connect with Him. You see, the Bible says that we have free will.
Mm-hmm.
That free will allows us to connect or disconnect at our will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow. I'm really, and I mean, seriously, like I'm got a little knot in my throat because right now in my own life, he's like quiet. And I'm like, okay, God, and you already know, I don't lay it on this floor.
Right.
I'm praying, crying, snotting, all of it.
Uh-huh.
And it's like, don't you hear me, God? Like, I know you hear me. And then out of nowhere, he'll show up. But the nowhere is usually what they say is on time.
Yeah.
It's like in the nick of time. Mm-hmm. So that was amazing. Mm-hmm. I never even thought of that. Was amazing.
About how you're tested through school.
Yeah.
Right? Elementary school, you're tested on a little bit at a time. They give you a little bit of information. Test it again. The teacher's right there. Do you need help? This is how you write it. Mm-hmm. This is what you do. Middle school, they're a little bit further back. Okay, well, they taught you this. Now you're tested. Mm-hmm. High school, you're kind of like, where did the teacher go? We're all taking a test. And in college,
test, right?
It's like, do we have a professor?
Right. And even worse now because you're online. So Correct. It's like...
And the classes are so much larger, right?
Yeah.
Think about how the classes grow in size as you get older.
Yeah.
Because that one leader doesn't need to be as hands-on so they can take on more. Mm-hmm. And God, as the leader he is, and his omnipotence, mm-hmm. he sees us and he's like, hey, you've got this, whether you know it or not.
Mm-hmm. You know your assignment.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to stand back and watch you because in your test, I can't give you the answers.
Wow. Girl, see what I'm saying? Why I love her. Okay, in what ways can spiritual practices like prayer, meditation, or connecting with nature help restore the parts of the spirit that feel broken or lost?
In what ways? All the ways.
Absolutely.
All of the ways.
Mm-hmm.
Every person has a spirit, right?
Yes.
In that spirit, we have different spiritual giftings.
Yes.
Some of us are visionaries.
Yes.
Some of us are speakers. Mm-hmm. Some of us are listeners.
Yes.
Some of us like to feed others.
Yes.
And to pamper others and all of those things, right? Mm-hmm. So prayer, meditation, reading, all of those things are important. And they're going to be, more impactful in certain ways to each different person.
Yes.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people, they don't want to meditate. They want to draw.
Yes.
Some people want to paint. Mm-hmm. Some people want to sing. Mm-hmm. Some people want to speak. Some people want to write. Some people want to cook, right? Mm-hmm. There are all of these modalities that we can use to heal ourselves. Mm-hmm. Because as you said before, we go back to our purpose.
Right.
In that solitude, right? And that purpose generally exists in those things that we're naturally good at.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You find that you naturally want to draw. I'm a horrible drawer, but I will sit down and color all day long, right? Mm-hmm. So I will color, and while I color, God can speak to me because in the creative space, whatever that exists for in each person, God can use the other part of our brain that we usually use to overthink.
Yeah, for sure.
Because we're not thinking as much. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the human brain and our own will can stop us from hearing God because we've pre-planned what we wanted to hear.
Yeah, that's true. Mm-hmm.
Our own thoughts, our own will block that divine connection because if it doesn't sound like what we thought God should say,
we try to tweak it
as not God.
Right. Right.
Or tweak it. Mm-hmm. Yes. Well, that's not really what God meant.
Like we God. Like we're God's God, right?
Really what he meant. I mean, God meant to tell me this, so I'm going to just do this. No, God meant to tell you what he told you. You weren't listening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The cool part is God is always speaking. Mm-hmm. We're not always
listening. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Our ear isn't always tuned to his frequency. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And that's the goal. As we talk about healing, it is to set up things and habits and these practices that put us in the position where we incorporate God in our everyday lives.
Yeah.
If we wake up and we move about our day and we don't pray, we should feel off.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't do the thing that connects us with the spirit that is going to give us the guidance for our life,
Mm-hmm.
we should feel like something is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And how many people are running through the world not connected?
Mm-hmm.
Don't even realize that they're off.
Mm-hmm. Just
Right?
going.
Just going.
Mm-hmm.
Just spinning wheels and not moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know how back in the day, the old cartoons would have where, like on the Flintstones, they get in the car and they start driving and they start patting their feet and they're not going anywhere yet?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's what it's like.
Yeah.
And then it's like all of a sudden it just takes off
Yeah.
because they connected. That's what it's about. To heal is we can connect with the things that help us to heal, help us to center, help us to be one again.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of these fragmented pieces that got pulled apart and broken in these semblances of abuse.
Yeah. I did share with the second episode with Dr. Phillips when we were talking about the body.
Mm-hmm.
I did share that I was elevated when I discovered grounding. Walking on grass with my bare feet, feeling the cold of the warm grass. It just took over me where I just became so emotional. And I don't think, like, you do things in habit form, but you don't really think about each thing. And me really at that moment, the first time connecting and feeling that feel of grass on my feet, it just brought tears to me. I just sat quiet. I was, I had, spiritual music playing, and I was burning like frankincense and myrrh, the resin. And I was just in a place where I can smell the word, feel the word on my feet, heal the word. Because, everything is the word. Everything is God.
Everything.
And it was just so moving to me. And that was in my space of healing.
Yeah.
That was in my space when I was by myself for those 5 years, where I was trying to put myself back together again. And when this, coming up with questions to ask, every time I ask these questions to whomever's in this other side of the microphone, I'm remembering and putting myself back in that space. And I just know connecting with nature, just sitting still, watching the clouds move, because we're so busy being busy that we don't stop, right? Feeling the sun on my face, smelling like what it smells like to smell grass or just the leaves, and it's like we don't have a moment to be thankful.
Yeah.
And that's your spirit connecting.
It is. As you were talking about that, God allowed me to see back in the Garden of Eden.
Yeah.
Right? When Adam and Eve were there, barefoot, naked, connected, right? We are electrical beings. The earth is an electrical being. And when we allow our feet, our hands to touch the earth itself, it's a connection of electrical current that empowers us and grows us and heals us. There's so much health in putting your feet on the ground, allowing yourself to just sit and smell the air. Think about the fact that Adam didn't know he was naked before sin came in. He didn't know any harm. It was just a perfection. Just being in nature. Just that garden. Imagine the beautiful smells of the garden. The wind that blows through. The wonderful grass under his feet. It was just a perfect place. And when you consider that, everything that we get, every medication that is made, all of the things, they are built around what plant or what animal had something that was natural that could heal, right? If we look at every medication, there was a plant they found in nature that did this, and they were able to formulate it into something that could help the whole population, right? It's all out there. That's what you're experiencing when you're grounding. You're setting yourself back into a tone of just peace and clarity. It's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, my backyard is like the wilderness, so
Hey,
You hear
let it
birds
be.
chirping, woodpeckers pecking. It's like, where are you
Yes.
at? I'm here.
I'm
But
in the garden.
yeah, but I need to have that because it helps me, get grounded, get lined up, get attuned, be connected.
Mhm.
Because I'm a very spiritually godly person, and like I feel like I lose myself.
Mhm.
And when you're in these relationships and you're focused on that person, or you're focused on survival mode, you remove yourself from connecting with God and the Spirit.
Yes.
You
It's
know.
true.
My other question for you is, how can someone tell if their spiritual self has been wounded by an emotional psychological abuse? And what are the first steps to healing that spiritual damage?
The first thing we notice when we are wounded spiritually is our thoughts. Our thoughts change. We no longer think about God the same way.
Yeah.
We're no longer praying to God the same way.
Yeah, for sure.
We're no longer speaking to ourselves the same way. Oftentimes we become more reserved because we don't trust ourselves. We spoke in the last episode that we did together about the spirit being the compass.
Yeah.
Right? If your compass is broken, you're wandering around lost. And it doesn't connect, right? A compass in the wilderness works off of the electrical current of the earth.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
A compass of the spirit works off the electrical current of our connection to God.
Right.
Right? If that connection is broken, what are we doing?
Yeah, for
Right?
sure.
What are we doing? Are we going back to the abuser?
Yeah.
Are we going back to the abusive spaces?
Right.
How do we figure that out? The first thing is going back to what worked before. Before the abuse, what worked. And if nothing worked before the abuse, if all you've ever known is abuse, getting into spaces of God, of the Word, of praying, of learning how to meditate so that we can become one. The cool part about God is it doesn't take anybody else around us to connect us to God.
Right. That's right.
We can have a spiritual experience in a room by ourselves and never having met God before. He can introduce himself in the best way.
For sure.
He could be a burning bush or a cloud in the sky. Or he can come and sit with us. That's the wonderful thing about him. So when we are ready, when we are saying, God, I need you, even if we've never cried out to God before, he knows how to show up for us.
I think while you're talking, I was like, wow, I don't think I ever realized at that moment we all get caught up in, it's not even just a relationship. You run into someone, whether it's work, even church, you don't even know where you're at when you run into a narcissist or someone who invokes trauma. That is a demonic spirit that's in passing. And it's like, I don't think that we're not covered in our full armor, where we are in our right mind, which is your spiritual mind, that you have the know-how to pray up against that, or to have the strength, God's strength, to remove you from that. I don't think I ever thought about until we were just talking that that's a demonic spirit, and you're not even thinking that you are already equipped within. It's an attack against whatever gifts that's inside of you.
Yep. This is why they try to tell you you're not good enough in who you are.
Yeah.
This is why the Bible says, put the blood of the lamb on your door and everything will pass
over.
Right? So you said something really important. Putting on the full armor of God before you walk out every day.
Absolutely.
Right? Putting the blood on your head, on your body, taking oil. And it doesn't have to be oil. It could just be you speaking over your body. One of the practices that I taught my children as they were bathing growing up is to talk over your body with God as you bathe. This way they have an automatic prayer built in. So when my children shower in the morning, they're talking to God about, God, please protect my arms. Touch me, heal me, protect my head, protect my face, protect my body. This way, as they move out of the house, they have put the blood of the lamb on their doorpost of their body, of their temple, right? And how often are we not doing that before we leave out into the world?
Very good. Yeah. I used to have at my door in our house the breakdown of the full armor of God.
Yep.
So my kids literally, we knew it, but you know what? If things aren't in repetition, you forget. You know what I'm saying? And this is a full reminder to put that back up.
No, seriously.
Put it back up.
Helmet of salvation, breastplate of righteousness, belt of truth, gospel of peace upon our feet, shield of faith, sword of the Spirit, right? I do it from the top of my head to the bottom and then my armor around me. Yes. Right? I also invoke, God, your word says that you'll be my shield and my buckler. Yes. Right? My shield of faith works in the areas where I can see sometimes. Right? So if I know that someone's coming to attack me from the front, I know to put my shield of faith up. Yes. If they're coming to attack me from the side. But God being a shield means that he will protect me like a dome. Yes, for sure. Where nothing can come upon. Everything bounces off. That's it. And a buckler is really, really cool because have you ever seen one of those old movies where it's that chink of armor underneath that little, they like put those chinks? That's what a buckler is. Oh, wow. Yeah. And what that means is when I put on my armor and someone throws a sword and it comes in between that breastplate, it hits that chink. It's going to hit the chink. Yeah. And it still won't get to me. So even God being under my armor, between me and what I say, is so important. And this is why it's important to know our word. Yes. Because if we don't know our word, we don't know our rights. And if you don't know your word, you don't know your rights, you don't know your worth. No. We don't know that the enemy has to live under what our authority. God gave us authority. Yes. Right? Right. The Bible says he gave us the power to tread over the scorpions and everything that walks the earth. Yeah. The enemy walks the earth. He walks the earth. Even his kingdom, it says he's the prince of the air. That's part of the earth, and we have dominion over that. Right. This is why he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. Because he can't impart. Right. He can only take. And he can only take when we don't know our authority. Correct. So we have to stand in position to be in authority. That we won't give it over to him. And guess what? Even when we find that we've allowed him to take space, we take it back. That's good. And I mean, I think this is a reminder for when you're at work or when you're dealing with someone who's a friend or family member that's close to you. Because that's what happens. It gets right in that space where it's the closest person that will attack you, right? And hit your emotions first and then hit your mind and then your spirit. I think now that I have a revelation that that's a demonic attack, now I can say, I can drop my head into prayer and just speak against that. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know, we're always quick, like, not today, Satan, but you can really mean that at that moment because that person is trying to hinder you, trying to dupe or misguide your spirit. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was really good. One last question. What role does forgiveness of self, now I've talked about this, what role of forgiveness of self or others play in healing the spirit after leaving a toxic or narcissistic relationship? I have to tell you, this is my absolute favorite question. Thank you. This is my favorite question. Thank you. Because I am such an advocate for forgiveness. Yes. And let me tell you why. I walked in unforgiveness for so long. Yeah. Right? Just blaming everyone for my condition in life and just believing that it was not my fault. Yes, for sure. And some of it wasn't. Some of it was. However, I read a book, The Bait of Satan. And that book talks about forgiveness and the reason why forgiveness is so important. One thing that was highlighted to me that really stuck was the Bible says you are forgiven to the measure that you forgive. Oh, wow. Yep. And I had heard that so many times. However, this day God really took the time to highlight it for me. And he said, imagine all of the things they did to you in a bucket. And it is 100% full. That's all the things they did to you. It's 100% full. Now imagine all of the things that you did to other people and yourself in a separate bucket. It's halfway full. However, that's still 100%. Because it's 100% of what you did, even though your bucket's only halfway full. He said, so now if you forgive them 50%, I can only forgive you 50%. I said, well, hold on now.
Right. Right. That's pulling it back now.
Hold on. So if I don't forgive them, you can't forgive me.
Correct.
Because even God exists by his spiritual law. And he operates by it. He said, yes. If you don't forgive them 100%, I can't forgive you 100%. And you know what you did. I said, well, okay, God, I forgive them all the way. Not because I love them now, but because I love me.
Yeah.
That's what self-forgiveness is. It's, I love me enough that I need God to wash away what I did. I need him to even wash away what they did. And forgiving them gives God the authority to wash away the remembrance of it.
Right.
You're giving away the rights to have to remember that.
Yeah.
To have to live in the remnants of guilt, of pain of it. Because I can tell you there were some things that I held on to in my life for so long that people had done to me that were so egregious. But when I chose to begin to forgive them and truly learn what that meant and what it looked like, I was able to start moving forward, forgiving myself and them. And baby, I can't remember half that stuff now. I cannot remember it. Sometimes people be like, oh, you remember back in elementary school? And I'm like, nope, don't know that happened. Sorry. Because God was able to wipe it from my mind because I wasn't holding on to the memory of it. I wasn't tying it down and putting a stake in it in my life anymore. That's what forgiveness can do for you. Forgiveness can be the very thing that frees you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's the very thing that you can give to God for him to wipe away the memory, the hurt, the pain, the guilt, so that you can have a full life.
For sure.
We cannot sit in unforgiveness and move on.
Absolutely.
You choose one.
Yeah.
It's all a choice. Right? So if we're going to choose to leave the abusive relationship, if we're going to choose to not sit in the space of a narcissist or someone with narcissistic traits, right? We can also choose to, for real, release them from our lives so we can forget them.
Yeah.
That is the best thing we could do for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right? The best thing we could do is learn from our mistakes so that we don't make the same mistakes. And then forget the one that abused us to take away all of their power. This is why the abuser comes back and they call every once in a while. This is why they try to text. This is why they send a letter. Or they tell somebody in the supermarket, oh, how's she doing? I've been thinking about her. And that person comes back to tell you. It's so wonderful when somebody says, this person asked how you were doing. You were like, oh, wow, I haven't thought about them in years.
Yeah, for sure.
That is a wonderful feeling. Instead of, well, what did they say?
Right.
Did they look good? How are they? No. We no longer need that when we have forgiveness. So when we heal, forgiveness is such an important part of that.
It is.
Because forgiveness is the thing, that's the tether that keeps them in your life.
Yes.
That's what healing and forgiveness is about.
This was very important for me to ask this question so I could end the final question at the final episode of this series on a positive note, right? Not that anything wasn't positive, but I said that because I spoke throughout each episode about me forgiving myself, going through the process of healing, finding myself, whether it was my mind, the body, the soul, and now we're on the spirit. And the reason why this question ended with forgiveness is because I forgave my ex after I learned to forgive myself. And now we have a very healthy relationship, co-parenting, as well as it's healthy for my children. And, you know, you have to make sure that they have a healthy, real relationship with him, right?
Yeah.
And so the most important thing is that, like you said, I remember the relationship. I remember the pains, but I don't feel them.
Yeah.
But I don't remember, I can't even tell you the emotional ties of, I don't even remember how it feels to be in love with them anymore. You know what I mean? Because that's a lot of things that would hold you back for not wanting to forgive someone because you still have they still have that hold on you.
Mm-hmm.
And I prayed for that to release me from that so I can move forward. And that healing and that forgiving simultaneously, what it did was it blessed my life hand over fist.
Yeah.
Because the blessings that I got was immeasurable, you know? And I just want people to know that, you know, in some cases, not all cases, but in my case, that I was able to get out of that relationship and start a new kind of relationship where I can have a conversation, where I'm not still like, oh, I know you did it, but I'm not married to that pain anymore.
Right.
And that's truly God.
It is.
And I just want people to know that, you know, there's a lot of people who go through this and who don't talk about it. Again, like I said in the very first episode, this subject came to light because of the Sean Diddy Combs case and the Cassie case, because there's so many people, maybe not to that extreme, but so many people live, excuse me, in a space where they are trapped mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and they don't know how to get out. So that's why this subject came to hand on Beneath the Surface.
Yeah.
So, excuse me, I have a little catch in my throat. I do want to do something a little different because we're on the subject of spirit. I'm going to ask Katrina to give her information, as I always do, but also for those people who don't have a relationship with God, to be able to reach out to her so she can pray with you and lead you to Christ, lead you to God. And as they say in church, the doors of the church are open.
Yes.
But I think that's the problem, is a lot of people don't know where to go. And I want her to give her information outside of her being a therapist. She is a woman of God who can help lead you and give you counsel through those steps. So if you can give that information and whatever final words you want to say to speak into someone's spirit on helping them release themselves from this type of relationship.
Absolutely. As well as being a counselor, I am a pastor, I am an apostle, I am a prophet. I love God, I love the people of God, and I love to help people be free. That is my purpose, that is my passion, and I would love to help you be free. You can call me, text me, 302-501-6591. You can reach me at ministryoutofbounds.com or at coaching, Kays, Kays, way.com. I have been in that place where I wasn't free, and I know what it's like to become free. I know what it's like to think that I did too much for God to come and save me and want me. But it is all of the unlikely people that the Word talks about, that God chose and still uses to exemplify His Word. And in all of your unlikeliness, in all of your overcoming, in all of the spaces that you still need to overcome, I see you. I am willing to hear you. God sees you. He hears you. And we love you. God bless you.
Absolutely. And it's important for you all to know that through my own space of what I've gone through, maybe not at this very moment in something traumatic, but God has put me in a place to be very open and vulnerable to help each person have conversations after this podcast, conversations after our conversation, to take a deeper dive, to go beneath your own personal surfaces or masks that you're putting on just to get through the day. So I want to thank you, as always, for being a part of this wonderful conversation. Thank you, Katrina. I can't thank you enough for being in this space. But thank you, everyone, for being a part of Beneath the Surface with Purposeful Porsha. And we look forward to seeing you again on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Bye.